And excuse me, good morning everybody. My name is Osa and oh crap. Just knocked the locking bolt on my steering wheel. Okay. That's better. So, good morning everybody. My name is Osa and we are playing Farming Simulator 22 on the Maypole farm map. And as you can see, it's grass cutting day, first day of October, October 1 as we call it. And we're not going to be spending much time here. I need to head over to this tractor because as you can see from this field, we have a bunch of weeds which we need to do something with. The engine is running. The sprayer is activated. Let's go kill weeds. So I've got 3 fields. One is a new purchase that have weed and fertilizer issues. So I figured October 1 we can do the weeds. And then October 2, once the grass is finished cut, we can fertilize all the fields that need it, which will include the grass field. And I'm having major issues here. Let's try and get this straight. There we go. Okay, so for the most part, I think we should be fine on our 2 fields with how much weeds we have. Unfortunately, I don't think the same is true on the field we purchased. And likewise with the nitrogen levels, the field we purchased is horrible. So we're going to be using a ton of fertilizer on that field too. So the field we bought is that big one there. So that is going to be good income for us next year. It has oats. It's going to adversely affect our environmental score for the next year. Because its base score is about 45, which is horrible. But the things I can do things about, like weeds and fertilizer, isn't going to take effect until we harvest. So we're just going to have a horrible environmental score for the rest of this year and beginning of next. Of course, that's going to affect our crop sales over the winter months. So not exactly the most ideal thing, but I think it's only affecting us by about 1%. So not too bad, I guess. And let's press F5. And it's just me. I am a little bit early this morning. Normally I don't get started till about 8:30, but it's not like I've got anything else to worry about today. So we got a ton of snow earlier this week. It was actually up to 6 inches at one point. Not sure it's quite so deep because we have had a couple of days where the temperature bounced up to about 33, 34 degrees, which is bad for snow. So we should have a little less of it, I guess. However, it's due to it snowed mostly on Tuesday. into Wednesday. And then since then it snowed every single day, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Today it's due to snow later in the day. Sunday it's due to snow for a short while, but for the most part the weather predictors tell us that we probably won't see much close to an inch. So it's just going to be annoying rather than adding to what we already have. Power went out in the town where we used to live, which is where our church is, so there was no church on Sunday, on Friday, Wednesday. Some day this week that's in the middle. I had to go into the office yesterday, so snow was kind of blizzard-like, but not because of the heaviness of the snow, but just because of the driving wind. Difficult to see in it. But that's our every other month meeting. So don't have another one of those till the end of March. What other things have we had going on? Apparently the British Royal Mail got hacked and cannot send anything international, which means it's a little bit difficult for me to buy any train stuff for the next who knows how long. Fortunately, one of the stores I use has sent out an email the end of this year and the end of this week and said, not sure how long it's going to take the government to get their stuff sorted out. So we're using international courier, actually 2 international couriers for their international shipments now. And we'll let you, oh good grief, yes, this is just covered with weeds. Now the weeds on this field are small. I could probably save even more money on herbicide if I had a weeder and we drove around and did the weeding, and then I just come back onto the field and drive over it with a spot sprayer, because the spot sprayer would not would just register as, yeah, you've killed the weeds off with the sprayer. It's a little bit of a cheaty way of doing it, I guess. I should probably back up into that corner if I can manage it. Oh dear. I wish that wouldn't do that. Yes, okay, so I need to do that. And this. And so, thank you for playing. And yes, we can do that too. And good morning, long hauler. And yes, shoot with the questions. I will attempt to go backwards here and oops, turn the sprayer back on. So it definitely looks like this field is going to exhaust the supply of herbicide, and I'm going to have to go and buy some, because unfortunately the silos I have access to don't have herbicide as a delivery option. For this compilation of backing fails, should I use... you need to be careful about that, because that can get copyright strikes if you use music that is not free to use on YouTube. So you might want to look on YouTube's free to use playlist and use music from that. Close that off. There we go. So yeah, as I was saying about fertilization, this field is 0 and it has oats in it, so it's going to need an absolute ton of fertilizer added, and we'll do that October 2. Obviously the grass field will need to be baled and wrapped, so we'll do that later today, or maybe in the middle of today, who knows. And finally, once that's all done, we'll skip through to tomorrow. Unfortunately, when I started up the game today, the clock was on a ×10 rate, so that's why it's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon and not the usual 7 o'clock in the morning. Okay, we'll see. I think the thing is you can try it. The problem is a copyright strike is a copyright strike. They will monetize the video and pay the people who claim the copyright on it. It's just, videos, if you get a copyright strike, then your videos will not be monetized. If you had tried to monetize them, they will remove the monetization. However, YouTube will run ads on them and will give the money to the copyright claimant, and your channel will get a copyright strike on it. And you get 3 of those, and they start to get a little bit limited on what they allow you to do. So just a warning on that front. Don't fall over. I need to fish out the tea bag while we're driving very slowly across the field. Looks like our Massey Ferguson has finished with the raking. I think the plan here will get what we can get done here. Down to 600 litres on the on the herbicide. I'll set that off on cruise. That's good. And I'm going to put GPS on. I think we're going 90. There we go. That'll make things a little bit more easy to see. I mean, as you can see from the weed coverage, it is absolutely 100% on this field. Yes, they did. They even get a little bit upset if you use news coverage and commentate on it, but you can generally challenge those. The problems with music is that can get challenged quite significantly, and I think watching the Mighty Jingles, he's pointed out that the Russian national anthem is copyrighted by some French choir. Go figure that one out. And he has had situations where stuff has been copyright claimed, and there's just these offices that exist to claim copyright on all the YouTube videos they can. Jingles has requested permission directly from artists before they came famous, and has then had copyright claims hits on his older videos by people who have nothing to do with that artist. And yeah, music is just a very touchy thing on YouTube these days. And part of the problem I have is because I stream most of my content, well, pretty much all of the content I produce, I stream. The music, Twitch has a video library that I can use music from and not get copyright claims on Twitch. However, that music isn't claim free on YouTube. So as soon as I chop a video up and dump it onto YouTube, that same, the videos of the stream are likely to get copyright hits, and it's just a total mess. Oh, we are seriously going to run out of herbicide here. So I did remember to change my shirt today. So we now have a black t-shirt rather than the green one. Maybe I should have gone for orange. Anyway, I don't know. I definitely don't think we're going to make it to the end of this, but some of this spray is definitely that's a little bit more patchy than 100% coverage. For this sprayer, I expect this middle section seems to be very glitched, hardly ever sprays, but the booms tend to be fairly consistent. Anyway, let's turn around and go back the other way. That white field, that white field's mine. Oh yes, that's right. So we limed that field and we're going to plant soybeans in it, and so we don't need to worry about nitrogen coverage on that field. Otherwise I'd be spreading manure out on that field. Still, yeah, we're done. And I'm not sure if it's true on the John Deere trailed sprayer. I've never used the John Deere trailed sprayer. But if you put the weed sensor on the sprayer, it becomes a spot sprayer for everything, including fertilizer. Whereas if you don't have the weed sprayer, you can still do metered with crop sensors fertilizer spray, but it's the boom is always spraying when you have that, unless you put, as I said, you put the weed sensors on it. I kind of like the look of how it works with the weed sensors. I would like, I think I would like another tractor that's set up for all the fertilization jobs. So again, this is what we got left with last week. There's the crate pallet creator for sugar beets and potatoes, a small 3-meter cultivator, a big giant auger, and a grape trailer. So nothing there that interests us. Okay, no worries. Yeah, as I said, a little bit early start this morning. Mrs. Osa's sleeping, teenage Osa's sleeping. I think it's still January, so yay fun there. Looks like some animals have been wandering across our front yard. Teenage Osa decided she'd go out and make a snowman, and that was a total failure because the snow's just too light and fluffy at the moment. You kind of need a little bit of packing, so she's kind of made Groot covered in snow rather than a snowman. So yeah, really the plan for today is we have, as I said, herbicide to do. Our field needs to be cut and baled and wrapped, and that's going to take us a little bit of time. I'm not sure how much of that will actually get done. I'll hold off on the fertilization. Primarily we have the field in front of us needs a top off. This needs a full application, and then the grass field and the other field that we need to dump herbicide on also need top-offs. So that will do October 2. I will probably set a worker on this tractor to do that while I run around and pick up some contracts, because we do have a good amount of debt on the farm at the moment because I bought this field, and while this field is cheap, it's more than we could afford. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1, done. So we'll fold that in and we can look at that. Yeah, as you can see from the weed map, we just have all the weeds. That's patchy, that's patchy, that's as patchy as that one was, or that one is as patchy as that one was. They've all been mulched and they've all been rolled. Well, this one hasn't been mulched. I think if we turn that off, yeah. So I actually managed to get 61 and 51 rolled, so there's a little bit of a bonus there. Downside is no, I don't think there is a downside. Anyway, we need to go to the store. So yes, we have $80,000 in debt because buying that field, that's what I was going to look at. Farmland, 65. It's a good 80% loam, so we're going to get good yield. And oh, the value's gone up, plus 25. Oh, because we bought it. Yeah, it was. See, this one's minus 4.2, so it's a little bit lower in value than standard. That's 10, that's minus 4. Yeah, see, that one's minus 32. So 41,000 for a field that's 6 acres. That field there is 4.5 acres, 44,000. So you can see how much you can save if you buy a field at the right time. So on this yard, I've demolished that barn that was there, and I have demolished the liquid fertilizer tank which was in that corner there. The plan is that we will be buying 2 liquid fertilizer tanks which cost about 40,000, 45,000 each. Which side of the road do we drive on? This one. I have the extended Meridian silos mod, which gives us the ability to put liquid fertilizer and herbicide in the tank. I don't think you can put them both in the same tank. So I will buy one tank and see if I can load it up with 2 product, and if I can't, then I'll buy the second one. Or a second one. The solid fertilizer tank, which is also part of the same mod, allows solid fertilizer and lime, which would give me a point where I can get lime delivered to the farm and I don't have to drive halfway across the map to do that. We have butter at the thing. So I did sell all the perishables. I think I also sold all of the flour. So there should be no more flour at the flour mill. There might be dregs of 400 litres of flour, and you need 1,000 for it to create a pallet. I haven't looked at the contracts today, and obviously at the moment, because I'm only allowing us 1 day of contracts, I'm not really looking at the contracts until it's time to take them, or pick some, should I say. So hopefully we should get the field to the north of the grass field that we're currently cutting, and that usually pays out about 26,000. If it's a silage contract, then there's probably another 20,000 in silage bales to be had from that. And we do have a lot of silage on our main yard, or our original yard. 2 pallets, 1 pallet. I'm going to go 2. I don't think we'll use close to no. I don't think we'll use close to 2. Oh. Let's think about this. Okay, how big is our sprayer? 4,006. I can fit 2 pallets in there, so we'll get 2 IBCs of liquid fertilizer. Solid. See, this is a good deal, I think. You get 6,000 for 9,600. You get 2,000. So 2 3s are 6. No, that's not a good deal. That's a really bad deal. I'd always used to think that was a good deal, because if you take that and you multiply it by 3, you get that much. So all I have to do is bring it back 1 pallet and it will make lots. Oh, I can't. Okay. I'm going to buy this one.